Many people have one thing that is very powerful. You can't defeat what you can't see. And that's spiritual power. Oh.
Fuck.
I was faithful Marine Corps. I was a Marine. This whole family out here is all military.
Cool. But what Brother Russell has said has a point. Now I'm thinking about regrouping under the, try to make awareness to our other treaty delegates. Whether we tested out in 1999, the natural law, the eagle feather law, sacred pipe, is that one that supersedes the federal and state law here in the United States. Because as Native people, we are the landlords, and that is our law. And I believe we're going to use that. Because if we do reclaim our territory of 1851 in the 5-state area, I believe the brothers, the white brothers that live on there, will fall under the umbrella of sovereign immunity with the Indian. And they'll have a better life. Because in a 5-state area, we can conduct our own economic development with the foreign countries. If we pull away from the United States, we will be the 43rd seat in the United Nations. Presently, as treaty Native people, we only have a seat indigenous council in the United Nations. Because the Constitution of the treaty supersedes the United States Constitution. It's up to us as treaty people to educate our Indian people. Because our Indian people are beautiful in the wilderness. But when they were captured, brought in, I will use an example. If you capture 2 wild wolves, a male and female, and put them in a cage, and if they have the female wolf have its siblings, pups, and if 2 male escape back to the wilderness, they'll survive. Because that's where they come from. But if the pups are raised in the cage, the wolfness will be arrested. If they're hand fed, if they're looked after, sheltered, and they train them to feed 3 times a day, and train in that the caretaker is his only way of life. He should believe everything what the caretaker tells him. That's our Indian people. Assimilated by Christianity, by rules and regulations.
Okay, hi everyone. And we have our short class today. And I told you, yeah, that video I was showing that you can go back and look at on your own highlights how alcoholism is such a terrible problem on the reservation, the poorest place in the United States. Something like 60–70% of the adults are alcoholics. They're not allowed to sell alcohol on the reservation, but right across the street from the reservation are lots of stores that do sell beer and alcohol and wine. And they sell tremendous amounts of beer and alcohol and wine to the Indians on the reservation. Okay, so before I forget, let's do the cyber attendance. And let me go to Cyber Campus and Cyber Campus here for our class, and open up American history and go to attendance. But before I do that, I want to make sure again, I want to let you watch what I'm doing here and go to attendance and add, and then we do smart attendance. And your number is 542. 542 is your smart attendance number. So let me go back to the chat. 542 is your number, and let you enter that number in. And okay, so today is our short class, and so we don't have much time. And what I want to make sure that we do this time is have our debate, enough time for the in-class debate. So again, let me share the screen and go to the lesson plan for today. And you remember that the debate topic is this: to South Koreans, America owes reparations to its indigenous and Black citizens for the legacy effects of European colonization and imperialism. And by the way, I want to mention that one of the themes for the class, of course, has been stereotyping and the internalization of stereotypes. And I wanted to highlight to you current events. I think I can show it. Maybe I can't show it so easily here, about current events regarding news reports in today's New York Times, if I can find it here. And I don't think I can find it right away here. If I go to the, there's a news report about how the Queen of the Netherlands, coach, let me see, make sure I'm sharing the screen, is controversial. This coach was built for the Queen of the Netherlands when she was being coronated as queen at the end of the 19th century. And this coach is no longer used, but the controversy surrounds these panels here, where you see the Black people and the Southeast Asian people paying homage to Queen Wilhelmina, the backlash against racism in the colonial past of many Western countries after African-American George Floyd's death at the hands of white policemen. Derek Chauvin continued to rock the world, not least in Indonesia. So again, this was in today's New York Times, this report about the push to remove this royal carriage from the museum because it depicts the Black people being civilized and subsumed by the European power, the Netherlands, because as you know, the Netherlands controlled Indonesia and some parts of other developing countries as well. So that's in the news today in the New York Times. And the New York Times, by the way, has a report about the New York Times has moved to its one of its East Asian bureaus to the to Seoul, away from the let me see if I can go to the library again. I seem to go to the library here. I closed this because I had to send a message. Seoul moved to the New York Times moved its East Asia bureau to Seoul, away from Hong Kong. And so Cho Sang-hun has been a long time, I think, bureau chief and reporter in Seoul. And so the New York Times bureau is becoming a more important place for the New York Times, as the most important news source in the United States. And this is in today's New York Times. It says you can see this. I hope you can see this, right? As Afghan refugee crisis unfolds, Koreans recall miracle evacuation. So Cho Sang-hun is the longtime reporter for the New York Times in Seoul. And it notes here that the U.S. military evacuated 91,000 people out of the North Korean port in 1950. And by some estimates, it was the single largest wartime refugee evacuation in American history until Afghanistan a couple weeks ago, at the start of the Korean War. So it says it's a photograph, I don't have a photo, some of the 91,000 Korean War refugees who were evacuated from Hungnam, a North Korean port, in December 1950. And it says at right, a baby is handed to U.S. troops over a perimeter wall amid an evacuation in Kabul. So just to show you again, lots of comparisons made with previous conflicts of the United States during the Cold War in today's New York Times. Okay, but let's go back to the debate topic, and I need to assign you into 4 breakout rooms. And because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you wrote con statements that the United States should not necessarily provide reparations and apologies to indigenous Americans and African Americans for the crimes of colonialism and imperialism. And the rest of you wrote pro. And so I'm going to assign con to group 1, and 2, 3, and 4 of the 4 groups will be assigned, pro. And so I have written down who is con and who is pro here. So let me see, I've never done this before. Let's see if I can do this relatively quickly. Kim and let me see, Sung, no, Sung Hyun, I gotta make the right one here. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but that person might not be, oh, yeah, this person, and you can't see this. Now we realized that from the last class that when I'm assigning, when I'm trying to do breakout rooms, it doesn't show to you on your screen, which I didn't realize, but now I do. And so I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can to see if I can do it. And of course, one of the people is not here that's supposed to be here. And so I have to pass over that person. Kim, yeah, that person is not here. And Owen Tech goes here. And you, let me see, UJE goes here. And I think that, again, just to check again, Kim, no, that person is not here today, right now. So let me assign those and assign the rest of you to groups 2, 3, and 4. And it doesn't really matter where you go. Okay. And then room 4, assign these groups. Okay, so open all rooms. So there you see your groups that you're assigned to. So please join your groups. And room one, you are con. Room 1 is con. And room 2, 3, and 4, you are pro on the debate topic. And so who is going to speak for each group? Let me flip a coin here. So heads, it's the top part of the group list. Tails, it's the bottom part. And it's heads. So it's the first if it's heads. Tails, it's, stop that. Somebody's trying to call me. Hang up on them. Heads, it's the first one. Tails, it's the second person. And it's heads. So Kim Tong-yoon, you will speak for group 1. Sally, you will join group 2, room 2, and speak for room 2. Kim Chon-soo will speak for room 3, and Lee-hyung will speak for room 4. So let me close that to make sure that we go back to the screen share. And so you know your groups. And so please prepare a statement. Help your group leader prepare a con or pro statement on the debate topic. And everybody that's is in con is in room 1, and the other people who wrote pro statements are in rooms 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and so we're going to do our debate. We're going to have a debate in class, and I want to make sure that that person that was assigned first will speak, and then we'll have a response and go back and forth on this topic. So please talk to each other, communicate with each other, and help each other prepare for this, okay? So join the rooms if you haven't joined the rooms. Join your assigned rooms, okay? And that's the what we'll do, okay? So room 1 will make an opening statement, and then we'll pick room 2, 3, or 4 to make the opening statement for pro. And so for pro, we have, let me see if I can do this. I can't really do that. Who's going to speak first for pro? Room 2, 3, or 4. Heads is room 2. And it is heads. So room 2, Kang, Tong, and Sally, you will speak first for pro. And Kim Tong-yoon, you will speak first for con on the debate topic. Okay? So I will now go join each of the groups and see how you're doing. Okay, Kim Tong Yun, you are the leader for the group. So you, of course, wrote a con paragraph, so you already have some idea of what to say, okay, in your opening statement. You can speak for, a minute or two when you make your opening statement as to con, okay? Anybody have any questions at this time? We'll have, of course, more than one person from each group speak, but I want to make sure that, we have somebody who starts us off. Anybody have any questions? If not, I will then leave the room and go check on the other rooms. And join room 2. Hi, room 2. Pro. You understand what you need to do? Sally?
Yeah, we understand.
Good. Any questions? If no questions, okay, I'll leave the room and go check on the other 2 rooms. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, room 3. You understand what you need to do?
We do need some more explanation.
Oh, of course, I know. You need more time to talk and discuss. But the group leader will be the one who speaks first, but we'll have time for other people to speak as well, okay?
Do we need to speak on the behalf of pros? And
Yeah, you wrote a pro paragraph, so you'll speak for pro. And then we'll vote. We'll vote on cyber campus vote as to which side, as to what the opinion of the class is, how many people are pro and how many people are con. But that's just, an individual vote when we finish the debate, okay? All right, I'll go check on room 3 and room 4 now. Hi, room 4. So this is your chance to make your pro statement, and the leader for room 4 will speak first. But of course, that will just be the first person to speak. Most people wrote pro paragraphs. Only I think 5 people wrote con. So I think everybody on the con group in room 1, they're going to speak probably because you're going to be responding to them. But you all wrote pro, okay? So do you have any questions about what you're going to do now? If not, then I'll let you talk to each other, okay? Bye. Okay. 2 more minutes. Because you wrote your paragraph, so you already know pretty much what you want to say. You've written out your ideas in English. You know how to say what you want to say in English because you wrote out your paragraphs. Use your paragraphs. Use the ideas and words that you wrote in your paragraphs, okay? You know, one of our objectives here is to help you practice your English. One more minute. I have to remember when I.
And I'm one of the students in American history.
Okay, so now that I have a better understanding how breakout rooms work, I closed that so make sure you can see our screen. So let me now let me see what happens if I open that. Okay, I can see it again. And so who's going to speak first? So let's decide by again flipping a coin. And heads, it's group room 1. No, heads, it's room 1 or 2. Tails, it's room 3 or 4. And it's heads. So heads, it's room 1. Tails, it's room 2. And it's tails, room 2 for pro. So pro for that's Sally. So Sally, make your pro statement.
Okay, first of all, the act of memorizing Columbus, who committed ruthless genocide and brutality of enslaving innocent indigenous, is a sadistic act for natives, especially Tainos or Arawak, and justifies their genocide in the past. Also, if America compensates for them, it will have a positive effect on the issue of racism nowadays.
Okay, so room 1, you're going to speak a lot because there's only 4 or 5 of you in room 1 on Khan. So we'll let the first person speak for Khan, and the first person we chose was, let me see here, for Khan is Kim Tong-yoon. So Kim Tong-yoon, make your opening Khan statement, and you, of course, you can respond to what Sally said as well.
We had some opinions, and imperialism, and victims are all part of history. So it is an extension of war. And second opinion was we thought that it is important to admit apology from bottom of the heart, and recognition is much more meaningful than just reparations. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
And Sally, do you have a response to Kim Tong-yoon? Or let me just say, anybody else from room 2 have a response to Kim Tong-un? And Kim Tong-un, we have Kyu King Tong and Kim Soo-hyun and Kim Hwan-sok. So Kim Hwan-sok, Kim Soo-hyun, or Kyu King Hui King Tong. You can respond as well if you'd like to at this time to what Kim Tong-yoon from Khan just stated. And if not, Sally will then go on here. And let's hear then room 3 or 4. Who will speak first? Room 3 or 4 for pro? And heads, it's room 3, and it's room 3. So Kim Chon-soo. Kim Chon-soo for room 3. Kim Chon-soo for room 3. Kim Chon-soo, what is your opening pro statement? And you, of course, you can respond to what Khan also said, or what anybody else said as well, but what's your opening statement?
He's not able to use his microphone today.
Sorry?
He's not able to use his microphone today.
Kim Chon-soo can't use his microphone. Oh, no.
No.
Okay. Well, then, let me see here for who else is going to speak for room 3. So I don't know if you can see. You can't see when I have the breakout room open like this, but let me see here. Flip a coin, and it's heads, and it is Pyeon Chung-woo. Pyeon Chung-woo. Pyeon Chung-woo, speak for room 3, pro. Pyeon Chung-woo, that's you.
Yes, okay. My opinion is the United States must correct its mistake more important than sincere apology. I think it is an acknowledgement of wrongdoing that American with discriminatory views change that American history change into a non-discriminatory society. So there are people across the country suffering from racism, kind of. So United States will be a country that acknowledges its wrongdoing in history and solve racial discrimination and chronic problems that have not been tortured from the past.
Mm-hmm. And anybody want to respond from Khan to that? Well, let me go ahead and choose someone else to speak for Khan, since everybody wrote a paragraph, so everybody should be prepared to speak. And again, you can't see the breakout rooms when I list them on you get a blank screen, so I have to always remember that. So we have 3 other people in room 1 for Khan: Sung Hyun Oh, Woo Un Tek, and UGE. So who from those 3 will speak next for Khan? Heads is the first one, and it is heads. So Sung Hyun Sung Hyun Ho, please speak for Khan.
Yeah, compensation for a particular ethnic group for historical reason is discrimination against other ethnic groups in similar situations, and this becomes another racism.
Good point. What about the other ethnic groups? What about the Irish? What about Arab Americans being abused because, or Muslim Americans who are being stereotyped in the current context? Is something special? What about Chinese Americans? I mean, the Japanese who were put in prison camps in America during World War II and internment camps in 1988, I believe, was when Ronald Reagan was president. They did get formal apology from the US government and money for being wrongfully put in prison camps during World War II because the Americans thought the Japanese Americans were suspicious and prone to be traitors serving Japan. It was blatantly racist. But what about other groups like Chinese Americans? Chinese Americans, they were excluded, not as severely as Black people or indigenous people, but pretty badly out west, particularly on the Pacific coast. Okay, all right. So who's now going to speak next on room 4? And room 4, you're a pro, and I think we assign that to Hyun. Hyun will speak next for room 4, pro. What is your statement? Of course, you can also respond to what Khan or anyone else had to say. But Hyun, what is your pro statement?
Oh, actually, our group took in 2 aspects, rights and Indian reservations. America was built upon the throne of liberty and justice for all. So in order to realize what the founding father has envisioned the USA to be, reparation need to be made. So the United States need to compensate because it violates the right to equality in the past. And next, we talk about Indian reservation policy. There was already an Indian protection policy, but the number of Indians decreased and it was not properly implemented. Later, the Indians are violated by basic rights and are very poor. So our group think the US give a reparation to protect their life and rights.
Okay, that's pro. Anybody want to respond to what pro said? You can raise your hand. You can use the little reaction button to raise your hand, or you can just speak up. You can raise hand. Anybody? Anybody want to counteract? Or let me tell you what I wrote. I flipped a coin, and I was assigned by Admiral Lee assigned me to Khan, and I said, I think so. I'm writing Khan because I randomly chose Khan, right? By flipping a coin. I think reparations is not a good idea because if an apology and reparations are given, then these issues will be considered resolved when they in fact require many years and much resources of policy efforts to address them. And I think one of you mentioned in your paragraphs, I know one of you mentioned in the Khan group in your paragraphs that supposedly I think it was the 1965 treaty between Japan and Korea was supposed to be a final reparations for Japan for the crimes and atrocities that the Japanese committed during the occupation of Korea. And that's what the Japanese say today. They say the discussion of reparations for comfort women, enslaved women, or enslaved workers in factories, that was all addressed under Park Chung-hee in 1965. There was a treaty signed, that's it, that's done. And the Koreans, are saying, no, that's not really fair, but that's always a concern, right? If you make a reparations and then apologies, people who don't want to talk about this anymore, we're going to say, well, we don't have to talk about it anymore. It's done. We don't have to work on this problem. So what does Pro have to say about that? And let me then go to, I think we go back to one more person on Pro, and that's, oh no, we have more than one. Ooing Tech, Tech, what is your con statement? Ooing Tech.
American and European imperialism is an act that differs only in existing in world and geographical scale. Asking for reparation for this act is like asking for reparation for all wars in the past.
It was war, and everybody made war, right? Including the Indians. The Indians made war on each other. The Indian tribes, the indigenous tribes and groups. They were making war on each other. They were enslaving each other. They were conquering each other. They were exploiting each other. And they were doing terrible things to each other. So it's just that the Europeans were more powerful. The Indians weren't any nicer, although Howard Zinn is claiming that the Arawak or Taínos people were a nice people. And I don't know, I haven't investigated that, but I know, in North America, when those tribes went to war with each other, they they were not any nicer than Columbus was to each other. But okay, all right. And anybody from Pro want to respond? If not, I will then randomly choose someone from Pro because we have another con statement. And so who will speak next for Pro? Heads is room 2. And I was going to show you what I'm doing here. And it's heads, room 2. So we go back to breakout rooms. And Kim So-hyun. Kim So-hyun. What is your Pro statement?
I according to my opinion, I saw an issue that Indians still suffer about their alcohol and drug abuse because of the pests. Their pest politic pest issue that America did to Native American and Black people. So that's the reason why I say Pro. But according to your opinion, your professor opinion, Korean and Japanese issue, my mind changes.
Well, I mean, again, I could make a Pro statement as well. I mean, a Pro statement is that the condition of African Americans and Indigenous Americans is really exceptional. It's really a different class of oppression. It's different from the oppression. Its magnitude's greater than the oppression that Chinese or Korean or Japanese Americans faced, or Jewish Americans. I mean, those people were never owned as property the way Black people were. And Indigenous people, they were subject to genocide and forcibly moved. I mean, you can make an argument that bad things happen to Japanese Americans, and then why is reparations okay for Japanese Americans, and having an apology and money from the government for Japanese Americans? Why would that not be good for African Americans or Indigenous Americans? Because Japanese Americans are a much smaller group of people? Is that the only reason? Right? I don't think anybody argues that was bad, the reparations and the apologies to Japanese Americans, partly because Japanese Americans, like Chinese Americans, like Korean Americans, like Jewish Americans, they tend to be, not all, but they tend to be prosperous and wealthy. They tend to be more educated. They tend to make more money. They tend to be, but the reason we talk about reparations and an apology is because of the current problems facing particularly African Americans, but also Indian Americans today. The terrible poverty, the system, what they call in the US systemic racism against 14 or 15% of the population. Japanese Americans are 0.5% of America's population? Koreans are 0.5% of the American population? African Americans are 15% of the population. And they are, as I said, they're at least 30% of the prison population in the United States. 30% of African Americans are below the poverty line, and it's because of the inherent institutionalized biases against Africans that started from and were founded from the very beginning of the United States in the early 17th century that reproduced themselves, right? If you're terribly poor and ignorant because you're not allowed to get education, you have no money, you can still make a baby. It's the easiest thing in the world to make babies, right? It's very easy to make babies. And people who are ignorant and poor will tend to raise children who are more likely to stay ignorant and poor because they're ignorant and poor. Particularly in a country that has a history of not liking Black people, stereotyping them as less than equal. So I made the con argument, but I can make the pro argument as well. And that's to highlight the point that these questions are complicated ones. They're not easy answers, right? And so let me now go back to con. I think one more person had the chance to speak. UJE is the final speaker from Khan. UJE, please make your Khan statement. UJE, unmute yourself. You're muted, UJE, unmute. UJE. Where'd you go? UJE. You are Khan. Read your Khan statement. Make sure you unmute your microphone. Well, UJE apparently.
Professor, I
Yeah.
think my opinion is I'm pro. So I think my opinion is I think they should economic compensation and responsibility must be held to their
Okay.
held to their Brexit European yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's now go back to Cyber Campus and ask you to vote. So log in and make sure I share the screen. And so we go to American history and we go to vote. And so there is the question. And so, oh, did I do that wrong? Yes, I did do that wrong. It starts at 9 o'clock. Let me fix this, edit, and make this 9 o'clock. And okay, all right. So please vote on the Cyber Campus survey as to South Koreans. Now, forget about which group you're in. It doesn't matter which group you're in now. Just vote as you like to. All right, as the person. After thinking and discussing this issue, do you think to South Koreans, America owes reparations to its indigenous and Black citizens for the legacy effects of European colonization and imperialism? So go ahead and vote. And I want to see if I can refresh this so that, okay, is that out? No. So 7 pro, 2 con. Anyone else? 9 pro, 2 con, 1 neutral cannot decide. 10 pro, 2 con. Neutral cannot decide. 2 neutral cannot decide. Pros pulling way ahead. Okay. You know, we don't need to spend much time on this. Okay, so that's it for there. So you see overwhelmingly in favor of pro, overwhelmingly in favor of pro. And, you know, that's a big topic today. When I listen to Democracy Now, you know, they always have individuals on whoever every once in a while is talking about reparations and the like. Okay, so now we want to do something even more complex, and that is try to do that exercise with Christopher Columbus. And we only have 7 minutes. So I don't know how well this is going to work. But, you know, I feel bad about not doing that because it's a nice, fun exercise. And so we go to breakout rooms and I want to recreate 5, or I already have you. So let me close, recreate the groups. And I want to create 5 different groups and assign manually. And I'm going to see if I can do this. This might take too long because see, I have the pictures of the assign here. So Columbus Men is room 1. So we'll call that Columbus No, Columbus is room 1. So Columbus, and I'm going to assign, who gets assigned to room 1? Room 1 gets Kim Chun-soo. This is going to take too long. Kim, and I don't, there we go. Kim Chun-soo and Song Un-song. There we go. And Chung Minju. Let me see if I can do this. Come on, Ben. Come on. Chung Minju. Okay. And Hyobom. Where's Hyobom? I don't see Hyobom here. Where's Hyobom? 없어요, Hyobom.
I'm here.
Yeah, I don't see you on the list of students here though.
It goes Shinhebum
Okay, I don't
in
see.
my last name.
I'll have to work on that later. Okay, so okay, and then room 2 is a rename, and that's Columbus Men. And then on room 2 on Columbus Men we put Pyeongchang-woo. How do I say that? Yeah, Pyeongchang-woo. Let me see, Pyeongchang-woo, and Ountek, and Ihyun, and Chunji. Oh, my eyes are bad there. And this person, yes. Okay, and then room 3 is Isabella and Ferdinand. And to Isabella and Ferdinand, we add, let me so back here. Isabella and Ferdinand, we add Sally, and we add Sung Hyun Oh, and we add Ji Hyun Yu and Ji Hyun Yu. Yeah, Ji Hyun Yu. Okay, and then room 4 is Tainos, the Indians, the Arawak, and we add to room 4. We add Kim Tong-yun and Park Ji-yoon. See, Park Ji-yoon was Park Ji-yoon. Park Ji-yoon and Yoo Jae-yi, and Kim Tong-yun. And I already got Kim Tong-yun there. Okay. No, it's Kim Do-eun. Kim Do-eun. And where's Kim Do-eun? I don't see Kim Do-eun. I don't see Kim Do-eun here. Okay. And then room 5, we rename to System of Empire. And to room 5, we assign, see if I can find it here. Kwei King-dong and Kim Hyun-sok and Chung Sung-hyun. Okay, and please join your groups. If you're not assigned, please let me know.
Sir, so what's the jury supposed to do?
Oh, the jury, thank you. The jury is Kim Tong-un, I forgot to make a 5th group for the jury. A 6th group for the jury, a 6th group, sorry. Is Kim Tong-un, Ji-un-woo, and Pyeong Sung-oh, and Sung-un Sang, and Chung Sung-hyun. And I don't think I can make another group because I should have made 6 groups, 1 for the jury. Okay, so let's just hear what your statements are. So, let me flip a coin. Maybe we just have to flip a coin here. And we can vote on the survey. I made a survey, and you can all vote on the survey. So maybe we can just pass on the on assigning blame. So and we have just 3 minutes left. So who will speak? And who will speak first? And heads is groups 1 through 3, and it's tails. So heads, it's Tainos, tails, it's system of empire. And it's Tainos. So who will speak for Tainos? Kim Tong-yoon is heads, and it's heads. So Kim Tong-yoon, what do you have to say? Why are the Tainos not guilty? Kim Tong-yoon.
Sir,
Yeah.
because you just made the small classroom, I think quite a lot of students went to their breakout rooms. I don't think most of the students are here right now.
Okay, okay, good. Thank you very much for reminding me. So I have to close all the rooms. And in the 2 minutes remaining, why doesn't anybody want to show their video? I'm the only one on video. Why are the rest of you not showing yourselves on the video? I want to see your smiling faces. I want to see real human beings. 10 seconds, and we're running out of time. Okay, Kim Tong-yoon, are the Tainos guilty? And if you're not guilty, who is guilty? Who is most guilty? Kim Tong-yoon?
I think Tainos is most guilty.
They are the most guilty.
Sorry, most guilty. Okay. I think it is Columbus.
Oh, and why is he more guilty than everyone else?
Because Columbus is a leader of that Spaniard, and he made all decision without that.
Okay, Columbus, Pyeong Jong-woo, Kim Tong-yoon says you're most guilty. Pyeong Jong-woo, are you most guilty? No, I'm sorry, it's Kim Chon-soo. Kim Chon-soo for Columbus. You heard Kim Tong-yoon say you are most guilty. Kim Chon-soo. What do you have to say, Kim Chon-soo, for Columbus?
He cannot use his microphone today.
Oh, okay. What about Sung-un Song?
Yes, sir.
Who's you? Are you most guilty?
No, I think the empire system is most guilty because the system existed and the king and queen or the Columbus just follow the system. And in that way, Columbus and other people just follow the rules, and like at the moment, he was the honorable man as the following the rules, I think.
Okay, Sally from Isabella and Ferdinand. You heard Kim Chon-soo say you are most guilty. What do you have to say, Sally?
I think someone who commanded directly is Columbus. King and queen, me, I just wanted a gold, not genocide. So
oh, you hear?
Columbus is most guilty, I think. Yeah.
And what about Columbus men? Are they guilty?
I think, yeah, they are also guilty, but the most guilty is Columbus because he's commander.
Pyeong Chung-woo, do you agree that Columbus is most guilty? Kim Chon-soo is guilty, more guilty than you, the men of Columbus? Pyeong Chung-woo.
My opinion is system of empires most guilty because Columbus man is they have to follow the rule, what queen and king say or Columbus say. So if we don't follow the rule, we're gonna die. But
Okay,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, system of empire, Kim Won-sok. What do you have to say, Kim Won-sok? You are the system of empire. Kim Won-sok, are you most guilty?
Most guilty is, I think, Spain, Spain's Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand was most guilty because
Why?
Because they were the powers in control of everything, this imperial thing.
Okay, and so let's vote. And you can see some of you already started voting. And who is most guilty? And you can see here that the results are the system of empire is number one. Yay, system of empire. It's most guilty. So if you want to try to minimize abuse of human rights, try to correct the system of anarchy in international relations, of anarchy and rule of force. Might makes right, and might makes right in international relations. Okay, that's where we have to stop today because I have to go to the next class. So thank you, and I will see you probably online next week, okay?